will say this. I'm glad a few more people voted for me in this one than the first one. The first one, I had three votes.
Oh, wait till the next one.
Oh,
You'll get all the damn votes. I'm sure of it.
I don't know.
Usually get an update. Well,
Okay, it actually connected.
All right. It is 6:30. And we are live with Rusty Hooks Live. This is episode 14, I believe. I'm getting my numbers mixed up because I missed last week. I was at the beach in the beautiful rain.
Well, you guys got a couple good days towards the end of the week, right?
We did. We got to go fishing, so it was fun. Caught some big flounder. So tonight we have in studio with us Scott Hamrick and the other challenger, Mike Seawright, along with the champ, standing champ, I guess we should say, of our 1v1.
Yeah.
David Winters. Shane's on vacation himself.
He was offshore again today, I think, wasn't he?
Did he go
Yep.
offshore? I don't know.
I saw something on Facebook, I believe he was.
No, that was from yesterday.
Was that yesterday when he caught that dog?
Where he goes, you don't have cell phone service.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I don't know what he did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shane's on vacation, much needed. We're going to try not to bother him. He might call in, who knows?
I doubt it.
Probably not.
If there's fishing involved, he's MIA.
I'm glad a few more people voted for me in this one. All right, Hamrick, you got him on mute finally?
Tech man number 2.
I don't know. I don't know about all that.
All right, so tonight we're going to talk about the recap of Lake Hickory. If anybody wants to know, apparently don't fish against David when it's raining.
I might not be able to win a fishing tournament, but I sure can win a tough man contest.
Boy, that's a fact. I have to agree with that.
And Hamrick's going to give his rundown, I guess,
Yeah.
BFLs and the ABAs.
ABAs,
right?
Oh yeah, I love that place.
Did you even
I'm
need
excited
fishing
to
rods
hear
this past weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I kept myself up in the points. That's about all I can say.
Well,
And luckily, I was fishing for free, so
well,
if I wasn't fishing for free, it'd have been a pretty bad weekend.
in a trail like that, though, that's what you're fishing for, right? I mean, of course you want to win, but it's
Oh
all
yeah, I
about
want to
making
make
it to the regional,
I want to
right?
make the Ray Scott Championship. Yes, at Chickamauga, I would definitely want to make that. So
So the Ray Scott Championship, will they fish that this year? Will they
no,
fish that
it'll be
next year?
next May.
Okay.
There is one this year, and they've rescheduled it, and it's and I'm qualified for it too, and it's in I think it's first of November maybe, at Hartwell. So that might be a good one.
And you'll they give away a truck and a boat in that one, right?
No, I don't think that. No, that's used to be the BFL regionals. They give away. I don't know exactly what all they give away. To tell you the truth, because it's been.
I got you.
I fished it before, but I don't really remember. I've fished so much, and I'm getting old, so.
All right, you said it, not me.
Wow.
You're
Well,
getting old.
Hey,
You are
but
old.
but I'm always a young man compared to this.
Here we go.
Well, my buddy Andy Wicker won it one year, and they gave him I think it was a 21 XS.
Well,
And
matter of fact, now it's bringing I'm refreshing my memory. Newbie won it last year, and he got a boat and some money,
Okay.
so he did pretty good. But I like Chickamauga, and I like it that time of year, so maybe it'll be good. I don't know.
Somebody's up there right now, aren't they? FLW?
FLW. Mm-hmm.
I talked to Ron Farrow this morning. Forgot it was tournament week, so they say they start tomorrow. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, right?
It is, but I don't know what they're doing with MLF joining FLW for the rest of the season. Who knows?
You know what? They may just, since it's summertime, they may just be trying to get them in the middle of the week to keep
Because of
pleasure
traffic,
boat traffic
yeah.
down, which is smart. I mean,
Well, I'd much rather fish during the week right now for sure.
less pressure on the lake, and I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, might as well say it's July.
Didn't all the BFLs go to 3 fish?
In July they have, yeah. July and August they're going to go to
Really?
3 fish.
I didn't know that.
Santee fished
Just
this
because
past
it's
weekend,
hot.
and they were 3 fish already.
Yeah.
That's not a bad concept.
No,
That's
because
not a
they'll
bad
kill a lot of
concept.
fish if
It's
they
not a
don't.
bad call, but it does make it more of a big fish tournament than
Yeah, it does. It does.
But
You
I
get
like that. I like that.
you get
concept.
one big
I'm
one, and
sure
you're
you do.
I
going
know, I
to do
like
real
it.
good.
I like it for 2 reasons. One, for the, keep the fish alive, and 2, it sort of favors fishermen that catches big fish, that fish for big fish.
You liked it. You liked it so much.
Shane.
You liked it so much. You started it at Hickory.
I did.
You only had
started
3
that?
fish.
Yeah, he
in
thought he had 3 fish
thought it
limit.
was
He thought it was a 3 fish
I
limit.
thought it was a 3 fish. Was it not?
I guess not.
When we come in and I saw David was trying to weigh 5, I thought he was going to get disqualified.
Well, apparently he didn't.
I guess I got the memo late.
Well, I wasn't there in person, but I did watch all the videos.
Right.
And no offense, Mike, but I believe David could have weighed 2 to the 3 fish limit and would have been all right.
He might have,
Well, he may have.
but it would have looked better. It would have looked a little better.
I'm going to just say this now because I know there's a bunch of guys from Hickory watching. When we weighed in, I thought we just stunk up there. I'm glad to see after your 3 fish limit tournament Saturday took 7:02 to win. I'm glad to see it was just as tough for them on Saturday as it was for
Yeah,
us.
me too.
Hickory
Me
can be
too.
real tough at times. There's no doubt. I mean, I won a lot of money up there, and I've had a lot of bad tournaments up there. It's just how that place is.
Yeah, it is how it is.
My father and his corny jokes wanted me to tell you.
Oh,
I forgot to
God.
tell you before. He said your new middle name's Can't.
Can't what?
Mike Can't Seawright.
I like that. I like that.
Oh, God.
Uncle Kant.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
first he threatens me with Hoffa, and now he comes up with this. Is he a comedian? I mean, there's thousands of comedians out of work, and he's trying to be a comedian.
Well, I'd like to ask all y'all out there one thing too, though. After Hickory, don't I have the best interviewing skills of all the boat
my
captains?
God. Oh, my God.
I was
I'm
stayed
glad-
right up with him.
Oh, you did
You
that?
could hear everything he was
Hammer.
saying.
Oh, you did that?
You're always searching for compliments, man.
Man, I mean.
Well, it
I
is what it is.
Thirsty much?
It is what it is.
I mean, he was all over me. I mean, just all, with that phone all in my face, getting them where I couldn't cast. I'm like,
But you're a
Hey,
legend.
get out.
See, right? You're a legend. Everybody wanted to hear
Yeah,
what
but
you had
he's-
to say.
yeah,
But
but
see,
he,
right, you got to do like I did. Shane's great. He gets in the boat. Now, he will eat beef jerky.
Yeah, oh,
You
yeah.
better have him a bag of beef jerky and some
Right.
body armor.
I'm sure.
My burger says
I'm
you're
sure.
terrible.
But you know what? I never worry about Shane. Here's my philosophy. If you're going to stand behind me and I'm swinging treble hooks, you're going to have to get out of the way or I'm going to hook you. I don't worry about it.
Well,
See, right?
Oh, I never
See-
got in his
see,
way.
right? You
Don't
just
listen
treat
to
him.
him. He's
See-
just that's his
see,
excuses.
that's,
I never
need to
got
start
in
doing
his
the
way.
same thing. I need to start doing the same
Russ
thing.
agrees with you. He says if you could get on the right Facebook page.
Well, I did that one time, and I don't know how I did it,
You
but
did it a
it
couple
just
times.
once. No, just once.
Was it just once?
I
He
think
said
it,
he didn't see a couple of them.
no, that's because he was back there eating beef jerky.
Well, you need to tell Russ that I did a little bit of research, and I actually think I might know where Hoffa's buried. I'm just saying.
So
I think so.
I know the theory is Yankee Stadium, old Yankee Stadium.
Well, that's what I read, and that's
Right.
what I said.
So when they built the new Yankee Stadium, actually I might be getting this one wrong with Busch, which is the Cardinal Stadium. Shane might be able to correct me. He's got weird. He's like a Redskins fan and a North Carolina Tar Heels fan and a St. Louis Cardinals fan. He's
Russ
spread
is
out
a
everywhere.
Tar Heel fan.
No, Shane is.
Oh, Shane is.
But
okay.
it's
My
either
father's got the same view as me on pro sports.
Okay.
it's either Busch Stadium or the new Yankee Stadium. When they built the new one, they just took home plate and turned it 180 degrees. So home plate's still in the same place.
Okay.
So if he's buried underneath home plate,
Yeah.
he's still there.
I think he's there. Everything I researched indicates he may very
How do
well
y'all
be
know
there.
all this worthless information?
Because
Well-
Russ threatened to bury me somewhere where they wouldn't find me
I
if I
might.
beat his son. That's why.
Oh,
That's
so
right.
you were scared
I
of it.
was under duress. I was under duress.
I might be the biggest baseball fan you know.
Oh, I think you probably
on the
are.
watch party side of this, Scott, you took another beating this weekend, didn't you? Brian Morgan wants to know.
Oh, God.
Kind of like the one he took last Sunday after he did win Saturday, but he did do bad Sunday.
Well, you'll have that.
You know, that's High Rock. High Rock's terrible right now. I don't get what. And Morgan, I did fish with your buddies Saturday up there, and we did go to your holes, and they definitely wasn't there. So
Shane, I'm gonna go with you on this. Hoffa was at Giant Stadium. It wasn't at Yankee Stadium. And here's how it works in New York and other places when they're pouring bridge pilings and they got big concrete pours. If somebody slips and falls, They don't stop. You're
Right.
buried. You're buried permanently.
It's a time.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
Yeah.
know for sure.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Now is that the New York Giants or the San Francisco Giants?
God, back then.
Football, New York Giants.
No.
No, that was. I think that was wasn't
Was
the
it-
Giants a baseball team back then?
They
I mean,
were.
you're the guru.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Do we have something better to talk about?
Apparently not, because you sucked this past weekend. I already know David beat Seawright. I was at the beach, so unless you got something to talk about.
Well, I mean, we did talk about like a featherweight belt for these two goobers to go solve their marriage problems.
marriage problem.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
Marriage problem.
We got 50 people in here. Are there any more challengers out there?
There's only 50 people. Probably not.
Shane can challenge you tonight. He's on the.
Hey,
Yeah, he's on here. He can challenge you.
you know.
Shane said he wasn't going to.
Shane's got better sense than to do this.
Yeah, he does.
It's
He's
a
not
no-win situation
no.
for him, just like it was
for
me,
us
for sure.
and me.
But you know what? That's fine. If you feel that way, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I ain't saying no. I'm not saying because you won. I'm just saying it's a no-win situation because I'm gonna get rode from now here on out about it, and Seawright is too.
No, I will
Well,
too.
I'm glad both of y'all lost. Is all I can say.
No,
I know because
no.
you got a lot of miles out of that. I'm
No,
sure.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this.
Tread on tires wearing out though.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised because I'm gonna tell you why I'm not surprised. I kept hearing about David a couple years ago. I kept hearing his name, his winning tournaments, and all. So I came into the tackle shop right after he bought it. Sort of got to know him and went fishing with him one day. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'll just go check this guy out because I mean, let's get real. For 40 years, I fished Wiley, and I've won a lot of tournaments here. And I'm thinking, okay, if there's a new guy in town, I want to check him out. So I went. He goes out deep, and I basically sit in a seat all day. I don't fish that much, but I'm there to watch. So he goes out and he throws a crankbait, like Webster. He throws it a mile. He catches a 4-pounder and body slams it, and I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. That's cool. He's a great offshore fisherman. So he started bouncing around deep, doing good, catching fish. But then all of a sudden, he fished a deep spot, and he said, hey, there might be one under this pier. He flies over, sits down, and there's 4 poles to this pier with a high awning. And then under the awning is a float pier with an opening about a foot. He sits back, way back, and slides a jig through the awning into the float. And I'm like, and catches a 4-pounder. I'm like, God almighty. I think there's something to this guy. And so I was impressed tremendously the first time I ever fished with David. I realized, hey, this guy is doing it the way I used to do it. He bounces around deep and shallow. And let's face it, there's a lot of good deep fishermen. There's a lot of good shallow fishermen. There's, in my opinion, there's very few that can do it both ways. David showed me real quick he can do it both ways, and that's when he earned my respect. So,
Mike, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Okay.
You're taking my illusion away.
I am.
You
I'm
are.
sorry.
A
I'm
lot
sorry.
a lot of guys think that I can only catch them when they're deep,
That's
and
not-
I like to keep that illusion.
Well,
But you
Well,
know what?
you-
You
hey,
outed me.
hey, you showed me really quick.
Well, you
that
lost
you're
me on
catching
this
both-
because if you get Lineberger's on here, when you said he slid the jig up in the hole all the way to the
No,
back,
no.
when you said that, you lost me
No,
because
let me tell you
Lineberger's going.
I don't do cameras.
Let me
okay?
tell you,
You don't
I get
do cameras?
I get camera
You're
shots.
camera shy.
Let
And
me-
you can ask Lineberger, and he can verify this fact. I did not miss a hole until he put me live.
Until he started talking.
No, until he put that camera in my face, and then I hit the next 5 pontoon boats. I
Right.
fished an entire
Right.
dock, didn't
Right.
miss a one,
I believe it.
and then hit the next 5. You know how that goes.
Hey, you and I
sometimes.
fished a tournament at Wateree,
Oh Lord,
and
that
we
was,
fished piers. That was last year, right?
That was yep. We did. We slid down
We
there,
finished second,
and we chased the deep bite. Realized it didn't happen. Adjusted.
we
went
both
caught 'em.
went shallow, and it worked out
That's
okay. I mean, it did. So, and I hear Shane in all these things constantly talking about how he can't cast. I don't. That's not what I've seen. I don't believe that. I just don't believe that.
So you
I've
should give me
seen-
more respect how nice I was to you all day.
I'm talking about David right now.
Well, one time I was nice to you all day. He said
You
say
were nice to me. You've never been nice. One
That
time.
was the only day.
Yeah.
Well, Seawright, I appreciate the compliment. There's
Hey.
a lot coming from
So give us. We know who won, but
Oh,
give
we
us
do.
give us
give
the
us the
rundown.
give us the
What
rundown. Let's
happened?
hear about it.
Okay.
So let me. So I've never been in a heads up competition before.
Okay.
All right. So have you, Mike? Was that your first one?
No, I've been challenged many times over
All
the
right.
years. I've
Well-
been in a lot of
So how do you prepare for that versus how did
no different.
no
No
different?
different at all. Here's what I've done for 40 years of fishing competitive. I don't worry about the competitor. I worry about the conditions. I mean,
All right.
that's just the way I've always done. And so I studied the conditions going into this tournament. I politicked and got the lake I wanted. I hate to admit that, but I did.
You did.
I did. And but the conditions, Hickory's a lake that I really enjoy fishing because it's got a lot of quality fish in it. I love fishing it deep, and I also love fishing it shallow. But the conditions changed really, really quickly. Within a 24-hour period, they had torrential rains, and it came up like something like a foot in 24 hours. So I knew automatically. I knew it took away the deep fish. It just took it away. I didn't even have to try it, even though I did fishing history. Like
One time,
Shane,
you
like-
tried it one time.
Well, I
it
did
was
on
for
3
5 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't
It
do it for
wasn't long.
long
It
because I
wasn't
had
long.
no confidence. I had no confidence. But I prepared against the conditions, with the conditions I had, and that's what I tried to do. It didn't work out. David outsmarted me, basically. I mean, Shane said that, and I had already thought about that, and what he was saying was true. He outsmarted me. I would expect David to beat me with some skills on some different levels, but not outsmart me. But looking back in hindsight, he did that. He did that. David beat me. He beat me. He outsmarted me, and that's what happened. Now, I'll say this, sorta in my defense. I had a huge bite, one of the biggest bites on top water I've had in many, many years. Early, what was it? 30 minutes in.
It was big.
And it was huge, and that bite itself kept me running main channel walls and riprap and fishing main channel places that I fished over the years with top water. That one bite kept me running that. But I mean, as it turned out, that fish was on a light, I assume. I mean, it was a little rock. It was a little rock
It was on a
seam that
light.
came
It's
out,
a
but
lit-
it was a
lit
light
place.
there too, and it was a good place. But for some reason, that fish didn't get that bait. If that fish had got that bait, I'd have been off to a great start. But it just didn't. But I'll say this too, with David, I was not. I mean, I was impressed that he figured out that the lake was tough, and he came to the high percentage areas. But I was even more impressed that he made that decision so quickly. That's what impresses me, that he made that decision so quickly. And I didn't.
Well, he couldn't run history like you could, and
I
sometimes
don't
you know
see that-
sometimes
we
you
talk
know too
about
much on
history.
a lake. You know too much.
It's like Wiley. You know, I come out here and I can go run. If I'm a fish shallow, I go
Yep.
run this, and if I get bit, I kind of
Yep.
can
Yep.
run it
Yep.
and put it together. If I fish deep, I can hit several stuff and put it together.
Right, same thing.
You go to Hickory, I'm still searching.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I mean,
know.
you never can fail if you can't find something on a lake. Go to where all the tournaments are and the release and start there, because there's more fish there probably than anywhere.
Yeah.
And I told Shane, we were talking about it, and I ran to a first spot. Now, when I sat down on the first spot, seawall, it's got some water on it, and I saw some shad flipping, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this might get good. Nothing.
Yeah.
So I fished the adjacent other side of the mouth of the creek. Nothing. So from there, I go to another wall that has been good in the past. Nothing. I had one come out and grab a white jig, and I watched the fish just barely mouth. It didn't even slack the line or nothing. It just mouthed the white jig. I looked at Shannon and said, I'm going to do something dumb. He said, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm going back up the boat ramp. And he's like, well, okay. So we get up there, and he said to me, he said, I wasn't gonna say this. He said, but now that you're here and you're fishing, it doesn't matter. He said, I thought you were stupid for leaving the boat ramp this morning. He said, all the fish in the lake are right here.
That's right.
And so, I started catching a few fish and just kept riding the merry-go-round.
Any fish that's a keeper in that lake's been there one time or another.
That's right.
Almost every
Yeah,
fish
that's
that
right.
keep
Any
has been
big
there.
fish has pretty much been there sometime or
and
other.
really and truly, I don't enjoy fishing the same 2 pockets for 6-7 hours.
But if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do.
Hey,
When you're trying to get a limit, and then now all of a sudden you get a bigger bite. I caught one that was like 3.5, maybe close to 4.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you leave fish to go find more fish?
you don't.
That,
I mean, that's the deal. You don't. If
So-
you're on fish, you don't go chase fish. I mean,
So we
that's the
saw
deal.
where you fished, right there at
did.
Wittenberg
Yeah.
Access.
Yep.
Through a pawpaw and a jig, right?
I know we have them here. If anybody would like to see more
All right.
about each bait and whatnot.
Seawright, we saw some pretty cool baits you were throwing. I'd never seen that spook before. The old sway back
Oh, really?
spook.
Really?
Looked like that one got stuck in the mold when they pulled it out. It's one of the first time I saw it.
They actually, and I've got it. And again, if
We can
anybody
pull it out.
else,
Pull it out and show it, see, right? Where's it at? Get old Sway back out. I put it online when he was fishing.
It's a cool bait. It's an old bait. It's a retro bait, but it's pretty cool.
Is that an original paint job?
Actually, it is. It's original. This paint job is original. And I don't know if people can see it or not.
It's just got a hump in the back, right?
Swayed
it's-
back. yeah.
Right here, the mold comes in the head part from probably 1.25 inches or so is molded on this bait. So it sits up in the head, and it comes up in the water, and then this head sits up even higher. So what I like about this particular bait is when you throw it, when you cast it, you can actually skip it. Now, it's not like skipping a jig or something like that, but what you can do, when you throw it, if you throw it at the right trajectory, it'll hit the water and it'll jump backwards maybe 2 foot.
Yeah, we saw you skip some underneath the
And
walkway
so
on the videos.
And the other thing is, this time of year, I mean, what are bass feeding on? Mostly they're feeding on brim, they're feeding on frogs and stuff like that. This has got a lot of green and yellow, so it mimics both baits. So that's the reason I like this particular bait this time of year. So I threw that.
What else you got in there, Seawright?
All right. Old plopper. Pretty neat bait. Now, at Hickory, this is a pretty cool deal because at Hickory, sometimes those fish, when they get real aggressive, they'll chase baits. And when they chase baits, this bait will cover a ton of
Exactly.
water quickly, and it catches a lot of big fish. And I've done it over the years on Hickory. And this bait, a couple unique things about it. I like this bait, but I'll put oversized hooks on it. I'll drop them down a little bit. But here's the other thing that may help people that I don't know if they know or not. But this tail part that spins, that throws the water up over time. If you throw this bait a lot over time, this gets weak and it starts having a lot of give and take. It quits throwing water up. So what you can do, you can put some glue on this, you can put some epoxy on this, and all of a sudden it stiffens it up and it starts kicking water up. And so this is a great bait. But that's a little tip on that bait. And the other thing I did, I threw a popper. I tried to cover a lot of water. I threw a popper. And again,
That's what old Big Boy missed too, right?
well, it is, but what I did with this bait, I was just basically trying to cover water quickly because
Right.
I knew it was fishing conditions were tough. I knew that, and I wanted to cover water, so that's what I did. Now, a lot of fish came up. You saw that, Scott. A lot of fish came up, but they didn't eat it.
That's
For
right.
whatever reason. I don't know.
That happens a lot.
Well, they just didn't eat it. I mean, I saw a couple 3-pounders come up. They didn't eat it. And then that great big one blew up. Didn't eat it. But then all of a sudden, I would catch one on it, and I thought, okay, well, maybe I'm just not in the right place. Maybe not the right watercolor or whatever. So I just kept covering water with it. So I did that.
Then here's the go-to bait.
Well, no, not really. This is, just a simple jig head, shaky head with a pretty good hook in it. I like a stout hook. and I got a black worm on that, and that's what I did. Normally I throw a lot bigger worm because I like to try to catch bigger fish in tournaments. But I knew by the time I started flipping that the bite was tough. I knew there was a mayfly hatch going on, and so I wanted to downsize a little bit, and I wanted the black color because of the mayflies. So I used this, and as soon as I started doing this, and I was doing it in the back of gunpowder on trees, I caught a, 2 3/4.
Yeah, it's pushing 3 pounds.
That one was on video. And then you had one drop it too, right?
Yeah, and
Missed one.
I just missed one. I just flat missed one.
Reflexes. His reflexes are getting bad, but he had it.
Hammer. Oh, come on, bro.
Wow.
Wow. Just wow. But, so, I did miss one. Probably, 10, 15 minutes later
Yeah,
after I caught the good
I
one.
believe
was
the
on
other one.
camera,
I
too.
believe the other one was
Of
probably a
course it
pretty
was
good
on
one
camera,
too.
because I was always on camera. He never left. He was live all day.
No, sir. We took turns, sir.
There was one group he was on for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Y'all was on for 30 minutes. That's
Did we go
people
on
are on to see the fisherman. I tried not to go into Lineburger's time.
That's
But-
Well, you did, but you did.
Maybe 2 minutes.
Lineberger did have to send him a text.
Well, I was getting off at the time when he sent it. I was saying, well, Lineburger's getting ready to start complaining, and then bing, there comes the text.
All right. The other thing is the rod and reel. And here's the rod and reel that I like. It's a cheaper rod. It's an old Johnny Marsh rod. They quit making them 3 or 4 years ago. 7-foot rods, medium heavy. I always use loose reels with about a 5-to-1 ratio. And I use this just because it feels good. I mean, I've got a lot of expensive rods. I got a lot of G Luma stuff and stuff like that. But for me, this rod is the most versatile rod that I can ever fish with, because it's got a lot of good backbone in the medium heavy action. It's got a lot of good backbone. It's got a lot of tip. I throw a lot of top water. I throw a lot of other baits, and I've always felt like that tip is real important, because when a fish first attacks that bait, I want them to be able to get it. I don't want the rod to jerk the bait away from them. So that's the reason I'm using these rods. They're hard to come by now. I've got quite a few of them. I'd love to have more of them, but I can't find them. I go online, I go on eBay, I can't find them. But this is what I use primarily.
All right, so if anybody's watching, Johnny Morris,
Johnny Morris,
Carbon Light.
7 foot. It's a carbon light.
They still
7
have the
foot.
carbon light,
They do, but
it's not
if
that.
anybody's
It's
got
not-
some for sale, I know somebody that's buying them.
You better believe it. Let me know, please. I'll buy every one you got. I'm just saying, I love these rods. And
We got one question. I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's about the spook. Does it have rattles or not?
I like spooks that are called one knockers, that have one solid ball in
Yep.
them. For me, that one knocker produces a sound that's always produced better for me. The spooks has got a lot of smaller balls in it that have that rattling sound. I've just never done as good on them. I don't know about you guys, but I've never done as good on them. So I like either a spook with no sound or one ball, and it's called a one knocker. That's what I've done. But
I like my top water to be quiet.
yeah, exactly. Me
It's
too. In most cases,
situational.
it's
For me,
situational.
It's situational. If the water's slick, quiet's good.
Yeah.
The windier, the louder I want it.
I feel like I can work it enough
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make it loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let me say this one last thing, because after the tournament, I got a lot of texts, a lot of messages saying, Seawright, we know you didn't really hit your best and all this crap. But so I want to put that to bed tonight. I'm a competitor. I hate to lose. I mean, I've competed in tournaments for 40 years, and I hate to lose probably as bad as anybody. And I promise everybody, I just got beat. I got beat by a better fisherman that day, and that's what happened. I hit all my good stuff. I did everything I could to catch a fish, and David beat me, plain and simple. So if anybody's confused on that, please don't be. It just, I got beat. That's the bottom line. All right, you're up, bro.
Nathan,
I'm up.
Nathan, I don't. I don't think any whopper ploppers have rattles in them, do they?
I think
No.
No.
I think there was a couple knockoff that
Okay.
you can buy that do.
Yeah, so
but
the original one is not.
No.
And that is the original one. That was the big one. That's not the.
it's a
No,
130.
that's-
It's a whopper
Yeah.
flopper 130.
Yeah,
That's not the
it's-
190. The 190 is the big musky lure. That was
No.
the original. But
Yeah, you're right. And I've never even tried the great big one. I've never even tried it. I don't know.
Casey Lee.
It may
to-
work great. I
to
don't know.
answer
I'll
your
tell you what does
question.
bite it.
What?
Bluefish.
Yeah, they will.
Fish out in the oceans.
They
I
will.
don't know.
Casey Lee, to answer your question, Reaction Innovation Vixens, they are not going to be available again until the fall. Rusty Hooks has an order placed with all the colors, and as soon as they come in, I've been assured by Reaction Innovations that they will be available. If you're looking for something specific, please let me know, and I have a personal collection I may be able to help you out with. I don't know. Just message the store or message me personally, and I'll see what I can do.
Oh, Brian New says we're wrong. He says the original does have rattles in it.
Here's the only way to find out.
I didn't think they had
We'll
rattles in
open
them.
this little box back up. See,
Yeah.
right? I think it's okay if I touch this little box.
Absolutely.
It does have a little.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll
It's
stand
not
corrected.
loud.
Thank you, newbie.
No,
You're right.
No,
It's got a
Brian's
little.
right. Brian's right. Yep.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
got some
Everybody
very,
can hear
very
that?
small. Yeah, he's right. He's right.
I didn't think they did.
Well, and Brian.
I don't think it's
Brian,
different.
besides being a halfway decent fisherman, he's a tackle junkie, kind of like me.
Oh yeah,
so.
now, he does know his tackle. I'll give him that.
Thank you, Brian, for correcting that.
Yeah.
Well, Seawright, if you don't mind handing me my two little ones back
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, it's pretty simple. Everybody got to see what I was doing all day. Nothing special. It was a catcher's lure, crawdad jig. You know what's funny is before I went to Norman, I was throwing a Chris crawl, which is a color they have. I switched up, knowing what Hamrick does. He throws a crawdad jig a lot. And so I figured if I'm going to beat this guy, I'm going to beat him with his own bait. And
Talking about you.
Really?
and did. We were successful that day.
Okay.
So
If anybody forgot,
that's that.
Yeah. Could we let's
Sorry,
remind
Henry.
everybody just in case.
It was open. The door was open.
apparently they bought it on Hickory too.
And well, I caught
Apparently.
two fish on that, and then went to work with a. Believe it or not, this is a popper. I don't throw very much.
What is that?
That's a Booyah, which is really a copy of an Excalibur. I don't know if they can see it very well, but it's a Booyah brim colored popper. Don't mind the hooks; they got stuck in the carpet, and I jerked them and straightened them out this morning. But it's real simple. It was brim colored. I was gonna attempt to fish brim beds. We kind of got my plans changed when I saw how tough the lake was fishing, and so the rod that I'm throwing that on is it's a prototype. It's a 6.3. Not really going to go into a lot of detail, but you may be able to purchase it in the next year or so from a company. We'll see if it takes or not. The jig was thrown on a 7.2 heavy Denali covert. And both reels that I'm using are loose as well. But there wasn't a lot to what I was doing. I was just trying to catch retreads. There were a lot of brim. I mean, really and truly, I got stuck. I had to go up close to rocks. When I looked down in the water, I mean, there's brim everywhere. They're just sitting on the rocks. They're not
Yep.
on the bed.
They're not on the bed. Yep.
They weren't on the bed, but you could see the brim beds.
Right.
And so they're moving that way.
Okay.
The fish are there waiting on them. They're in the area, and so I just fished. I just fished an area, assuming that I could continue the train, and the train kept coming.
You fished a good area. I mean, you took the high percentage route, and
You
it
know-
paid off. And I congratulate you for that. I mean, you did. I mean,
You
it
like
was
a short
smart.
rod
It was
too,
a
don't
smart
you? For
move.
top water,
Yep. I use a 6-footer.
6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Casey Lee, I did not. Hang on a second. What? Oh, never mind. That's irrelevant to our conversation. But yeah, that's kind of my day in a nutshell. And yes, Shane gave me as much grief as Hamrick gave you, so don't feel bad there.
I know Shane always is attacking you about your casting ability, and I've never understood it.
Well,
I've been in a boat
because
with you, and I've seen it.
I don't do cameras. When we
Okay.
started this podcast, what did I tell you, Brandon? I said I don't like to be in front of the camera.
Right.
Now, I guess I'm making my way through it and
Well,
getting more and more comfortable.
you're doing a
but
fine job, and I want to congratulate
Thank
you
you, Seawright.
again
Thank
because
you.
you did a great job. You
Thank you,
really
sir.
did. I was impressed.
So now,
I really was.
so now that the recap's over, is there anybody challenge you yet?
there,
Is the challenge line open?
there was a conversation of a challenge. I don't know if the individual is currently on here live or not. If somebody wants to investigate,
Is it?
I hadn't seen him.
There was in our little group message back and forth. I think Hamrick and Seawright would like to see Hoover challenge me. Hoover and I did have a conversation about it, but I told him if he wanted to challenge to say something tonight, and right now there's crickets, so we will see.
I don't think he. I'm not the one wanting to challenge you. That's up to him.
Again,
Well,
It's not my idea for him to challenge you because I mean that's up to him.
no, I agree with that, but I was sort of hoping it would happen in a way because I know how good a fisherman he is. I mean,
we all know that he's been carrying you all year. So.
well,
See, there you go. There you go.
Sorry, Hamrick, I had to.
Hey,
Again, back to the door was cracked, and I just kicked it open.
yeah, well, I'll go that route off camera, but on camera, Scott and Hoover's been a great team for many, many, many years and won a whole lot of money in a lot of places. They're both good. So Hoover is a great fisherman. That's
He
not a
is.
shot at you at
No,
all
it is.
because you're a great fisherman too. But Hoover is really, really good, and for that reason, I was hoping that maybe he'd be the next to challenge, just from my perspective. But if he does and if he don't, that's up to him totally.
I mean, the only other challenge that has been said was Jody Wright at Catcher Lures, which I know he's watching. He just commented.
He's on here.
He said something about October at Wiley.
If you still have the belt.
If I still have the belt.
Well, it's getting kind of hot, boys. It's going to be July and August is a real good time to be fishing tournaments to begin with.
Is it not though?
Yeah, but
I mean, it's pretty dang bad. It gets pretty bad out there.
Okay, it's the same for both.
It's you know what, but brim beds really get good. Every year, all of our tournaments end in May. Okay, except for maybe a couple BFLs.
Yeah.
We'll run a little late. But who wouldn't want to go fish? Okay, yeah, the hours should be shortened, or you should blast off early or something
Yeah,
to eliminate the heat. But
Absolutely.
who wouldn't enjoy going?
Go
to
over to
fishing?
High Rock right now. You probably won't want to fish
Why? I mean,
Why
why?
would you
because the water's too high over there.
But why
and they
would
just-
I even
Yeah.
think that's a great idea?
Well, because
It's
that might be
not.
where you end up going.
no,
We could
no.
go to Norman and fish brim beds. We can go to Wiley and fish brim beds. We can go to Watery and fish mayflies and brim beds. There's a
Well-
lot of options out there.
Well, Hickory wasn't a good. It turned out not to be a good.
Well,
option.
You know
conditions.
what? That plan backfired on you, sir.
No, it was the same for both of us. That's my point.
It was the same for both of us,
Yeah.
but you went into that thinking, okay, the water's at 96.8, and I got some options, and guess what?
Right.
I
it
think the
changed.
Lord was watching over me and said, no, it's going to be an equal playing field, and that's what he gave us.
Maybe so.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
was
so.
that not?
Maybe,
had that.
Maybe so. I
Yeah,
don't know. I
Mike,
don't know.
Mike couldn't have that 2 weeks in advance when we drew.
No,
Exactly.
we couldn't have. I mean,
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you.
I think
again,
y'all should have just done it on Wiley because
Well,
then.
But
then
here's the problem.
he
with
wouldn't.
Wiley.
He would.
he did
wouldn't
not
have-
want to do it on Wiley
I-
at that particular time.
I'm,
I don't think.
I'm
Really?
game for whatever.
No,
I would have been game for it. Here's why. Because Wiley is a home lake. Now,
For both
granted,
of
The
us.
home lake's
For both of us.
usually the worst place to have it.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
true.
It
That's
can
true.
be,
That's
but-
true.
Mike
That's
and I know we both can go out on Wiley and put a crankbait in our hands
Yep.
and catch fish on camera for the viewers to watch.
Absolutely.
And as soon as we go off camera, we can go fish a whole nother tournament, and nobody sees
And
what's
try to
going
win.
on.
And
That's
try
right.
to win.
That's right.
That's right.
And so for Hickory, for me, yes, there was a big fish or a decent size. I'm not gonna say a big fish. I mean, that fish was maybe 4 pounds. It was caught on camera. You caught one as the camera was coming on, but the viewers enjoy fish catches.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
so
Absolutely.
we could go throw a crankbait
Yeah.
for another week or so and catch fish after fish
I'm sure.
after fish.
I'm sure. On community holes.
On community
holes.
And not give up anything to hurt either
That's
one
true.
of us.
That's true.
That's all he got.
That's true.
Really,
What?
nothing. We're just out. Me and him talking, man.
Are they talking
They're,
trash
they're,
about
I think
us?
somebody's running their mouth.
I think so.
No secrets
Maybe
in this group, buddy.
Maybe there needs
Oh,
to
there's
be a
plenty of
two.
secrets in
Maybe
this
there needs to
group.
be a 2v2
Ooh.
tournament or
That-
something. I
I
mean,
don't-
I'm just.
I don't think you want that.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know. If y'all gonna sit
Really?
over there,
Apparently there
Hang
is
on.
one.
if
We're
y'all
gonna-
gonna sit over and talk trash under your breath, I mean, be
We're gonna-
careful.
we're
Be
gonna-
careful.
We're gonna bring up something though.
Okay.
Well, hold on
All
a
right.
second before we get off the subject.
Okay.
So Casey Lee
Okay. What case you said?
brought up a good point. And he said the next lake the champ should get to pick his choice.
I agree with that.
All right,
Casey.
so
But
that-
see,
I
I
agree.
like that idea, but it's like these guys are saying: going to your home lake can be an advantage or a
It can
disadvantage.
be a very
Right.
much
Well,
disadvantage.
Right.
and that's fine. So don't pick your home lake.
No, I will. I will
You
tell
don't.
you
The
this.
problem is you don't know where to be. You don't know.
But what I'm saying is, so we got a lot of flack about having to go to Norman. We got a lot of flack about having to go to Hickory. So we're going to take it all away. And the next time we fish, you're going to pick where we're
And,
going.
and I'll tell you right
And
now.
there'll be a lot of flack over that. Too.
My choice is made. Anybody that wants to challenge me, the challenge is going to Watery.
all right, there you
That's where I'm
Brett-
just.
Well, see, and
Rick
that's probably
Collins
going to
just
be a
got on
mistake.
here.
It may be a mistake.
It's going to be a
It may
mistake
be a
because you
mistake.
don't know what the conditions are.
But
That's the problem.
to me, I want to go somewhere where grass is an option. Crankbait could be an option. There's options.
Oh, absolutely.
And
At
it's not
Watery,
like,
there is.
okay, I'm going to Wiley. Whatever. Wiley is.
Yep.
Wiley's Wiley.
All right, so
And
there you
there's
go.
not a
Next
lot
one's
of
going to be on
options.
Watery. We just got to
Oh, well,
figure
there
out
are.
who it
There-
is
you
now.
Well,
can either
not
go
a
deep or
lot.
you can go shallow.
Well,
Oh, I see Fowler on here. You and him's kind of had some.
No, Fowler. Listen, I
y'all-
love Fowler to death.
I'd love for him to challenge you. I'll even be his boat captain.
Whole
Hey.
poacher.
Oh yeah,
you would
he's a
tear
poacher.
You would tear his nerves up during the day.
No, I wouldn't. No. He. I think he'd take you down, sir.
All right, so Jody says not just Wiley. He says any lake in October.
uh-oh.
Brian do wants to know how much this.
Brian, you don't want to do it,
pays.
sir. It's
Yeah,
a no-win
Brian,
situation.
Brian, don't do it, Brian. It's not. It don't pay well.
it
It don't
cost-
pay as good as your win in
It
the
cost you dinner,
championship.
didn't it? It just cost you dinner. I mean, come on now.
Oh, and it was.
Oh, it
they
cost
ate
him more than
big.
dinner.
They ate big. They ate big.
So I will say this, just to answer Brian's question. There is no official pay
We keep it friendly.
But-
Absolutely, absolutely.
if there's a side bet that nobody knows about. That's between you
That's
and the
fine.
competitor.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's
That's-
fair game. Brian, if you want to fire a shot, buddy, I would be honored to fish against you.
Okay,
We'll
there
put
you
that
go.
there.
There you go. All right, Brian. Ball's in your court, brother.
I'm not saying. I mean, I like Brian. Brian comes in here. He was in here today, and we jumped in a boat together. We go throw a crankbait.
1v1v1.
One what? Jody,
Hey, Jody's.
go back to tying jigs and don't worry about all that craziness.
Hey, Jody is an admirable foe too. Trust
listen,
me. Trust me. He is tough too.
There's another one right there.
There's
just joined
another
right there.
one.
Oh, Cotton's on here now.
Oh,
I don't know that Tim would.
that'd be interesting.
You can't beat him on his own holes.
You know what? That's why we're fishing together, because we fish a lot of the same stuff. If I've got to fish shallow, he said,
There's another one. Chris just got on here
Chris
now.
who? Marshall?
Oh, there's a good one
Chris
too.
is I will say this. Chris is a heck of a fisherman. I've fished with him for, 2-3 years, Chris? I can't remember. Traveling for BFLs.
Yep.
Chris showed me a lot. And I'm not ever going to, if anybody questions Chris's abilities,
No.
they're ignorant.
N-
I'll
absolutely.
say that right
Okay,
now.
let me just go
Absolutely.
ahead and clarify this. Pretty much everybody that gets on here, he's been in the boat with them. Yeah, now in my line.
Oh,
Okay.
so where's
They
this
don't call
going?
him boat
No.
for nothing.
No,
Boat-
you, not they. It's you. It's you.
Me.
It ain't they.
You know what?
It's
I'm
you.
not the only one that says this.
All
Now.
right.
You
all
called
right,
me
listen.
that.
Okay, Seawright, listen. I'm
All right.
gonna put this in perspective.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Hammer, you're what? Almost 60 years old. 50?
No, I'm not
Oh,
no
God,
60
he's
years
that
old.
old.
I'm
He's that old.
39 years
You're-
old.
39.
Yeah, I'm 39. So
Rode hard and put up wet
that's
for
right.
39.
I'm 39.
Okay.
We're
So-
gonna stick to that.
Anyway, you've been in the boat with Chuck Montgomery.
No, I hadn't.
Okay, Louis Hull. Sorry,
Okay, I've been in the boat with Louis.
Louis,
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Povey, who is a solid fisherman. Roger Hoover,
Mhm.
Robbie Dye. I'm sure you've gone fishing with Andy Montgomery once or twice.
Not no tournaments. No.
No,
Yeah, well,
again.
yes, I have fished a tournament with
Okay.
Andy. I'll take that back.
Okay.
And then we got Seawright, who's been riding you around, mentoring you here recently.
Really?
I'll
How you
see-
know I'm not mentoring him?
All Seawright's been doing the Hammericks feeding them. That's it.
That's about right. That's about right.
Feeding him
Anyway.
bull crap.
You know what? For everybody that's watching, and I'll say this in all seriousness, Mike Jennings, who some of the guys here at the table know, who throws a Milo in the spring and was always hard to beat on Wiley in the spring. When I started fishing, guess who the big players were? Mike Jennings, Grady Oliver, Tim Chapman, Mark Leach. That's how it was. We showed up Fish Cat Trail. You were beating one of those four guys. Now they all, 2 and 2, whatever.
Yep.
And Mike and I built a relationship. Mike took me out here. Mike showed me a lot of stuff. When Mike showed me what was up, he said to me, David, I'll show you all of it, but I don't want to race you to Little Alice.
Exactly.
I said,
Yep.
okay. I
Yep.
said, Mike, I respect that.
Yep.
And so that's what I've done. Ever since then, anybody that I fish with, yes, I'm learning. I would learn from you, Hamrick. I learned from Seawright. I probably would learn something from Brandon. But the point of it is to learn it, absorb it,
Absolutely.
and figure it out on your own.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm just giving you
And-
crap. You know
and
that.
so for everybody that's listening, wanting to figure out how to get better, it's okay to learn from other people, but don't hose them.
That's exactly
No,
right.
No.
Use respect, learn with respect, and
Right.
go forward.
I fished 11 years. 11
With
years
D-Man.
with Ronnie Tapp. And I'm just going to tell you right now, if there's ever been a better offshore fisherman, I have no clue who it would have been. But I learned from him. I learned a ton from him. I fished a few years with Jack Black at Watery. Again, I learned from him.
Well, Jack Black was the man that wrote the book about Watery.
Well, he was, and I was lucky enough to spend time in his boat. He's the best down there, and the way I got to know him, I went down there and I was on a good shallow water bite, and for 3 weeks in a row, I finished second to him. The third week, I went up to him, didn't know him, shook his hand. I said, "Congratulations, I won't be back. I can't beat you, sir. I won't be back." That's what I told him.
Really?
He said, that's what he said. Really? I said, no, I'm not coming back. I can't beat you. Because I couldn't. I just couldn't. I mean, I was having, back then it was 8 fish limits, and I was weighing 35, 37 pounds. I mean, that's what I had. And I was finishing second, but I couldn't beat him.
So you wasn't going to go back?
No. And he said, I hate to hear that.
That's not like you, Mike.
Well, I learned my lesson.
How
I
many?
wasn't going
Okay,
back.
you said something on the pot. You said something live. What's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
That's right.
That's right. And so I wasn't going to go back. He said, I'll tell you what, this is what the man told me. He said, I've enjoyed fishing against you. All of a sudden, it was fun for me again because you pushed me a little bit. He said, start coming down here and fishing with me and let me teach you and show you what I'm doing. And I'm like, you do that for me?
Sign me up.
Exactly. And if that means I'm a boat prostitute, is that G-rated? Then that's fine. So I went down there, and guess what? For the next 2 or 3 years, I fished with that man. I learned so much from
You know
him.
what I just figured out? You are the original boat prostitute.
But all this being said,
You started all this
But-
insanity.
I
but-
started a lot of insanity.
You have. I agree.
But see, right? I mean, Hammer. how much have you learned?
From Seawright?
No, I'm not saying from Seawright.
Well, you're gonna say nothing, wasn't you? You was gonna say nothing, wasn't you?
Be honest, because you got
people
are watching.
People will say, well, he learned from him. I mean, you know, you learn a little bit of something with people, but really and truly, the reason me and Hoover do so good in tournaments together is because we've been fishing together for probably 25 years as a team.
But
listen.
We're setting the team thing aside for you.
Individually. But I'm just telling you.
Not learn from anybody else.
I'm just telling you. Me and him come along together, and we pretty much learned.
Compliment each other.
We figured out certain things, and most of the places we fish and things we do is usually stuff we figured out. We don't watch people and try to go fish there, because I mean, you know, you're chasing ghosts when you do that, I believe.
No, you are.
And when you're on something that you know it's just you and him doing this, or these kind of places. Not saying we're better than everybody. I'm just saying we don't. If you're jumping in the boat with all these different people and you're all doing the same thing, it ends up you show somebody something, they're gonna show it to somebody else, and not saying that person you showed it's gonna be on your stuff, but this person he might have showed it might be on your stuff.
No, they're trust me, that has bit me a time or two.
Wiley's one of the worst places that I know of
so
about
small.
it. Yeah, it's terrible down here. I mean, this is how it is.
So I'd like to add something to that. So if all you do is get shown stuff, you're never taught how to compete and how to think for yourself.
I agree.
So if you give me a waypoint and I go there and they ain't there, I'm screwed. So, you know, people have showed me, I'll say, lures or techniques or something like that, but you still got to make it your own.
But again,
I agree.
It's just like when Mike Jennings he showed me what was up with a Milo. We fished 2 years together. We fished spring, summer, fall, whatever. And so he kind of got my feet wet. And then I started doing stuff. We got in a boat together last year for the first time in a number of years. Because Mike's here's the deal. Wiley's not what he used to be. He doesn't have fun coming out here anymore because they don't bite a Milo like they used to.
It's all changed.
We
silted in.
We fished a tournament together. And we fished. We ran to a spot that he showed me first thing in the morning. And guess what? We left that spot. I said, hey, Mike, let's pull up here. Fire your Milo right there. He fired up there, caught a 3.5. He's like, well, I never thought about this. Okay. Right. So we start running. We fish all day long. And, yeah, I skipped a jig under a dock and caught a 6.95, and we won the tournament. But I took it somewhere else. I learned my own stuff.
Right.
And
fishing's so much different than it was when, say, Mike. I mean, all you need is one of these. I mean, you can Google any lake, go on YouTube, you can watch what people are doing, and it's just it's so much different than it used to be.
That's really true, Scott.
Joe, you're right. True. The circle has to be small locally. But you gotta have one heck of a network if you
like Mike,
me
and Mike's friends.
Absolutely.
Mike sent me a message one day, said, come on, go fishing with me. So he takes me out and he shows me how he fishes the Mike, because Mike knows I'm not going to go out there and fish this stuff, for one thing, and number two, I don't fish Wiley like that, and I'm not going to fish Wiley like that because you don't have to. I don't think you win at Wiley like that.
Well, I can.
You can win. You can win about 2 weeks, maybe a month out of the whole year.
4 weeks.
A month out of the whole year.
Listen,
You can't win any other time like that.
But this year was 4 weeks. Next year it could be 2 weeks.
So
the year after that could be 3.
So you just hit on something else though.
Yeah,
so
it was
all the stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah.
People are showing you spots.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the same.
They're not teaching you
patterns. That's the thing.
But again, like with the Milo, okay, yeah, you're learning spots, but you figure the pattern out by fishing various spots.
Okay, then why can't you go do that on other lakes? Why can't you only do that?
It don't relate to other lakes. It don't relate to other lakes.
Listen, my dad went up to Sharon Harris. He was talking about it today. I don't know if you were here. You may have been. Brian was here. We were talking about it. My dad went up to Sharon Harris on Good Friday with a buddy of his, and he talked about it. He went and fished the grass, and it was early. You know, Good Friday for Sharon Harris, the fish are pre-spawn.
Right.
So he started fishing grass and backed out off of it. He was sending me pictures. The biggest 4 would have been over 30.
God,
throwing a Milo.
That's right.
Okay, so it does relate to other lakes, but
not to
you
all
can't-
lakes.
It doesn't relate to all
No.
lakes, but you cannot just for me to go to Watery in February and March, I can't just go down there and pick up a Milo and start throwing it without some serious graph time, without some serious pre-fish time to put it together, because
Right.
it doesn't
Right.
just click.
Well,
all
it's
the
just
time.
like Mike. Mike fishes deep a lot, and he's a heck of a deep fisherman. He's been taught and he's learned stuff on his own. But like around here, all these lakes around here, you guys can take this as you want to take it. But
This
all
right
these lakes
here.
around here,
This right
90%
all.
90% of the time, a 1-day tournament, you
That
can
right
win
there.
shallow around here.
That's true.
That
That's
says
true.
it all.
You
No,
might
it
win.
does.
You might win
It
two.
does.
You might win in a 2-day tournament. But where stuff like what Mike knows or Thrift, people like that, if you're gonna fish a 4-day tournament, it's real hard to win shallow in a 4-day tournament. Except various, because you run out of fish, boys. And
You got to
Real
mix
quick,
it up.
yeah.
a man that can fish deep. If he finds schools of fish, he might not be leading it the first day, and he might not be. But in the long run, he's gonna run you down.
15
Right.
pound with death.
But you know, I'm usually fishing 1 and 2-day tournaments right here. So I mean, I always fish shallow. I might fish semi-deep sometimes, but most of the time
Listen, you
it's
threw
shallow.
a 6XD fishing against me at Norman.
That's
That's
just
a
a
bait that I wouldn't even put in the wheelhouse.
but that's just
Me
that's just a
either.
pattern.
Me
That's
either.
just a pattern there, though. It's not like fishing Wiley with a 6XD.
Anthony
right.
Brooks, a Milo is made by Alan Bates, and it is no longer made anymore.
That's right.
But
That's
but
right.
on to answer that question, yes, the Milo is made still.
Yeah.
It's not an Allen Lures bait. Mike Seawright can attest because he grilled me for weeks on end about this bait to see if it's correct. Brian Huskins, Brian Bees
Has the mold.
has the mold to the original Allen Lures Milo. It is now called a ditch digger. It works the same, acts the same, has the exact same weight. You can still get them. We sell them here
Well-
at Rusty Hooks year round.
Well, I'll disagree a little bit with that.
And Anthony, just so you know, it's a big lipless crankbait.
I
It's
can,
a-
step,
it's
I
a
can step
ounce-
to the front.
It's almost like a big rattle trap,
It's
basically.
It's an ounce and a third rattle trap. That's what it is.
Yep.
But I'll disagree a little bit with what David said because with these lures, they're not all the exact same shape. They're not all the exact same weight, and the weight is really, really critical in a Milo, in my opinion. And the color.
All right,
means a
we
lot.
got one here. I
Okay.
pulled one out for everybody that wants to see it. Brandon, verify that's coming up right.
It's
Yeah,
good. That looks
that's
good.
That's
There you
good.
go.
That's good.
All right, so yes, we sell them at Rusty Hooks. But
If
I
you buy
just
one, buy a plug knocker.
well,
If y'all got enough money, I know where you can get Milos. Mike owns pretty much every one that was ever made.
Well,
You'll
Mike's-
trade him for
and
carbon
that's the
lights.
reason I'm saying they're not all. I'm telling y'all.
Mike's not the only one.
No,
Henrik.
no.
Well, maybe not, but Mike's got he's got a bunch.
Well, they're not all created equal. I'm just saying they're not. And David, you know that.
No,
You're a
they-
big fisherman.
every-
they're not all created
It's
equal.
it's like a crankbait. You can get 10 crankbaits out of the pack,
And some
they'll
of them's
be-
weighted. People weight them. If they
they'll
want to fish deep, they'll cut them out, fill them with lead, so
Yeah.
they'll go down.
There's
There's
different
lots of
ways-
different things
there's
you can
a
do
lot
to
of
'em.
different things you can do to them. And
Yes, sir.
niche,
That's,
yeah,
the
they're
spot.
called.
That's the hot spot, right?
There's
Yep.
a big spot, and it's a 1 ounce bait, and it's weighted. It's weighted more toward the head. It stands up. It's a good bait too. It's a little bit bigger profile than the Allen lure. That
It's
we refer to as a Milo.
It's
It's a
wider
little
from the top,
taller
yeah.
or wider.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. I don't like it as good. I like the Milo. I mean, I've just always.
But it's
had
pretty
better
much
success.
a March bait,
It's-
basically around
But
March.
that's a lie. I'll give up one of my secrets. See, right? You might kick me under the table. I'm sorry. I throw that bait until July the 1st.
But you do it. You don't throw it in the same place.
I don't throw it in the same
Exactly.
places, but they will
Yeah.
bite it pre-spawn and post-spawn.
Yeah, yeah. And Gene Webster he's known that for many, many years as
yeah.
well. Gene's caught a lot of fish out deep. He's got them loaded and he fishes them deep.
It's a hell of a bait to catch
a big fish.
staging fish.
big
That's where
staging fish.
in March. That's what you're catching, and those big fish they stage up in groups, and
Tell you
just
what
this
else
right
you-
here will catch them.
It's
Yep.
just
Yep.
the snot out of them was white perch would bite that too.
They're very good, and David knows this. And David and I
Catfish,
talked about
too.
this one-on-one. But yeah, once the white perch get out deep on these spots, yeah, this Milo works pretty good then too. Especially one in the same color range. I mean, it just works good.
Okay, wasn't there something else we wanted to talk
Bitch,
about
giving
tonight?
up all the secrets now. Look here, talking about the
No,
spot. That's what I threw.
He's
growing
give up enough secrets.
Mitch,
Paint an orange stripe on them.
I'm
Mitch.
not giving up any more.
I'm not
secrets.
talking about you. I'm
Mitch,
talking
the
about
best
our
thing
viewers.
for you to do is just stop talking about it.
What else was we going to talk about tonight?
Well, we were going to dive into something that came up several weeks ago. There's he's a pretty decent guy. I'm not going to talk trash about him. Lee Lucas fired a shot and said he wanted a 4 versus 4 tournament. It was originally me, Brandon, Shane, and Scott. Well, Brandon's work schedule, because of vacation and COVID-19, he's not going to be able to join us fishing middle of the week. So we've adopted Mike Seawright. Whether good or bad, we'll see.
Who gets Seawright?
You do. apparently.
You. So there, once again, you're a boat prostitute. You'll be learning.
I'll tell you this: as far as fish missing topwater lures, Hamrick's just a black cat.
He's a black cat, period. Every time he gets in a boat with somebody, they lose.
Boys.
I'm a good example.
Boys, I forgot more about losing fish on that top water than y'all know about it.
Well, you definitely remember too.
Here
from
we
a
go.
couple weeks
Here we
ago.
go. See,
Here
I
we
gotta
go.
listen to this all the time. I gotta listen.
But
to
no, anyway, so long story short, it's going to be me and Shane. Now, Shane may flip this around. I don't know. Shane's at the beach. He's not here to defend himself.
Hope's on here.
Me
Barely
and
talked bad
Shane,
about Shane.
and Scott and Mike are going to fish against Lee Lucas, Travis Robinson, Keith Porter, a.k.a. Fireball,
Fireball just doing
and he did not mention to me who his 4th was. I did hear from a little bird today that they tried to attempt to call another local pro who could not confirm or deny that his schedule would allow him to fish.
Does it really matter?
Where y'all fishing?
Oh, Mike.
Does it really
Mike.
matter?
Mike. That's like holding the belt above your head before the tournament,
I
Mike.
mean,
Mike,
There's-
Did you
Mike,
sign the belt, Mike?
They're sand lappers.
He
he
signed
did.
it.
You
He
did.
signed
he
it.
did.
yeah.
He
What
said
is a sand lapper?
He said a real legend.
What is a sand
No,
lapper?
he said another
I'll tell you.
legend.
No, no.
Oh, okay. Let's
What
just
is
get
a
this straight.
sand lapper?
I want to see if
I
David
don't know.
knows. Oh my goodness.
All I know, if we fish this
There's only
thing,
one real South Carolinian in here.
I mean,
I'll tell you in a minute.
I know what a sandpiper is, but I don't
What's
know
a sand lapper?
All right. So back in the Great Depression,
Right,
in the textile world,
right,
here in South Carolina, everybody was very poor. Okay,
right.
so
They started to fish.
they literally ate sand.
They ate sand.
That's correct.
I think some still do.
We might,
I mean, I'm just saying.
and that's where the term sandlapper came
Do
from.
South Carolina fishermen really believe they can beat North Carolina fishermen? I mean, I guess
Hold
that's
up,
my,
guys.
that's my
Lee
question.
just texted me 10 minutes before this conversation and said our 4th man said, hell yeah, he wanted to fish against y'all.
Who is it?
Go and let us know tomorrow if he can get off. If so, we will also have a legend on our side.
And who would that be? Because if he's a true legend, I'll know him.
So,
And
so
I
Mike,
fished with him because I'm a.
so Mike, you just asked.
I didn't say that. I'm not getting into that.
So Mike, you just asked if South Carolina could beat North
But-
Carolina.
but see,
Where do you
Mike-
live?
North Carolina.
Where do you live?
North Carolina.
Where do you live?
South Carolina.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just
Our
saying.
record speaks for itself, on it, bro.
But here's the deal. The two of you together are 2-0. Or 0-2, really.
No, I like the 2-0 better.
Well, you
Yeah,
are
2
2-0.
for me and
You
0
are
for
2-0
you.
in losses.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I may
You're
come back
right,
alone
man.
in this tournament, though.
Brandon, you
I may
always-
start out as a team, but I may come back
Hey,
in
I'm
alone.
just a numbers guy.
Oh,
Mike.
and Hamrick, by
Hey,
the way, I'm
you
just going
always
to go ahead and
bring
tell
us
you.
back to her.
If this happens and you end up in the boat with me videotaping on another lake, I've already told Shane, and I'm going to tell you here publicly.
You're gonna lose.
No, I'm not. It's not about me losing. Hamrick can go for a swim. He better make sure that his life jacket and his phone are waterproof and they work, because I will politely send him over the edge.
Do you know somebody actually texted me during that tournament and told me I should do that?
My father-in-law said.
I'm serious.
That-
Did I
it
tell
was
you
in the
that?
com- it was in the
People are so
comments.
thin-skinned
Did I
nowadays.
tell you
But
that?
see, I'm not thin-skinned. I got about as thick a skin as you can get.
Right.
Guys, if you can't have fun, there's no reason to be out there. Me and Mike, we're good buddies.
Absolutely.
We are the best buddies.
Absolutely.
We would go on and on and on, but when the camera goes off, we just bust out laughing about it.
That's
It's
exactly
just,
right.
It's no. I'll never say anything about Mike that I really mean if I'm messing with him. It's just all in fun.
And vice versa.
That's right. We can't say anything to make each other mad.
No, it's
But-
impossible. We
Mike
too
did
good of
hang
friends.
up on me one time, though.
Well, you probably deserve that.
You deserved it. You deserved it. And
Mike-
I was pissed off. I mean, let me go ahead and tell you.
Mike Seawright did hang up on me one time.
And you would not believe what I said after I hung up.
He told me about the conversation. He told me
Yeah,
what the
oh, it
conversation.
was
I think
bad.
I'd have hung up on you too.
Yeah, it was
Really?
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this 4 versus 4
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Back to that. All right. So
Okay.
we got the boat.
Yeah, we're
we
losing
got the
viewers
boat
fast.
partners.
I don't know
Oh
what's
God,
happening.
no.
Do you know when you're fishing and where you're fishing?
July the 1st.
All right. So that's not this week.
That's
next
Wednesday.
week from Wednesday.
Week after
Yep.
Okay.
at Watery.
Okay.
And you're fishing
Now-
at Watery.
Here's the deal. We were going to put lakes in a hat and draw, but Lee and I discussed, and I took the reins of this one, and they were going to put fish. They were going to put Watery and Monticello in the mix, and we were going to put Wiley and Norman in the mix, and so it was easier for them. They were going to pull Norman, and we were going to pull Monticello, so I yielded to them Watery.
Well, I think if it was really fair, you'd let them pick a lake, and then we'd pick a lake,
And draw it.
and no, you'd fish 2 days
Okay.
because
There you go.
that
I
would
agree
give
with
you a
that.
way to.
No, I agree with that.
But see, here's the problem, Scott. Some people, and I'm not saying myself, so I don't light this page up with this BS that I don't work. But some
You
people
don't.
really do.
You don't work.
Some people really do work.
That's true. That's
And-
true.
and
I
so-
understand that part of it.
Not everybody has your schedule. I know Fireball's cutting trees as fast as he can cut them when the weather's good, and he does want to take a day off to see if he can stick it to you.
Well, he needs to keep cutting trees.
I hope. Listen,
Wow.
listen. I love
He's on
Fireball.
here. He's on here.
Fireball and I go way
Good.
back.
Good. I'm glad.
And Fireball's fished with me, and you know what, Fireball.
Do you believe that he's been in the boat with Fireball too?
Fireball and I
Are you
fished night
surprised?
tournament together.
Is there
Okay.
anybody he hadn't been in the boat with except
Listen.
me and Hoover?
Hey, let me say this.
Me. He hadn't been in the boat
No,
with you?
you rode with me. We went and
When
goofed
did we
off
go?
one evening.
Oh
Hey.
yes, he's in the
I
boat
did.
with you.
Let me
Yeah.
say this.
What?
I'm sure cutting trees pays well. Fireball, keep cutting trees. I'm just saying.
See
Now,
right.
Let me tell you something. Fireball, look, I don't care what anybody says. Fireball is a goofy redneck. I love him to death, but he can catch a fish. He can flat catch 'em.
He needs to keep cutting trees.
Fireball is the guy who weighed in and
Right,
finished
Henry?
second at Lake Norman in the spring CBC. He had 16 and some change with 3 fish.
Was he
18.
fishing with you?
Was it 18?
No, he wasn't.
He had 18
Was he fishing with
and some
Shane?
change
No.
with 3 fish.
Who was he fishing with?
He's got his buddy Tony Price. Tony's a good boy too.
Okay.
And
So what's on the line for this 4 versus 4?
well, we put up a financial donation of $100 a man.
All right.
Okay.
So donations.
Okay. A donation.
So we'll put it like that.
Okay.
$100 a man
That's fine.
donation
Okay.
to enter this tournament.
Okay.
And no drinking in the boat.
What about
That's kind of like those $10 bills I take in you in cornhole, just when there's 0 on them.
That's true. That's true.
Oh boy,
somebody said Porter can catch him?
He can
No,
catch them.
He
He
can.
can?
There's no
I'm not gonna
question.
talk trash about him. That's your department.
I
You're
don't-
good at that. You're the number 1 trash talker in North Carolina.
I
I know
think he
for
needs
sure.
to keep cutting trees. That's all I'm saying.
Keith's gonna catch a
Man,
big
you
one,
gonna
I
make that
promise
man.
you
You
that.
gonna make that man go down there and practice
The
and
last-
no fuss.
No, I'm gonna get in his head, and what he's gonna go down there and he's gonna.
How's that?
tighten up.
How's that
He's
getting
gonna
in the head
tighten
thing
up.
worked out for you here lately, sir?
Not too good.
I will,
Not too good. Not too good.
Chris Marshall, we're going to Watery, buddy. Which you don't. I know Chris. We travel together. We fish Watery together. He hates Watery. Chris Marshall hates Watery.
Chris Marshall's good everywhere. I'm surprised he hates any lake.
Shane, you're right. He should have picked up a shaky header and Ned rig and gone and caught 2 more. He would have beat Craig Chambers and Derek. What's his last name? I don't even know Derek that well, but he would have beat him for sure, no doubt.
Derek Cummings.
Yep. But
Why? Hold on. Now you can't just say that if he'd caught 2 more, he'd be. They had like 21 pounds.
22.
That's pretty
20.
strong.
Yeah, and so he had what 16,
18.
He had 7.
18.
No, he had like 17, I think.
Brandon,
So then you're talking about 4 more pounds. He's gonna have to catch 2 more 2 pounds. He could have probably done that, but you can't say that for sure.
Well, again, it's 3 fish for almost 18 pounds.
That's
at
a
Norman.
that's 3 big
crazy.
ones. That's 3 big ones
That's
for
crazy.
Norman.
I mean, that's
That's
as big as you can get.
That's
Let's
as
put it
big
that
as
way.
you can get. All right, he did good.
All right, so that's the news for that.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
July 1st.
July 1st.
July
What's
1st.
the water level like right down there right now? Is it still flowing over the dam?
No,
It's,
it actually hasn't flown
It's
up.
like 97 something, I believe.
That's normal.
I'll tell you a current lake level update. It's 97 even
97.
at Watery.
Kelly Logan, you hit that right on the head. He's the number 1 in the state. Matters
You
North
know
and
what?
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelly Logan. Let's talk about Kelly.
What about him?
He's a
I don't know.
he's a great fisherman.
You don't
That'd
know
be a
Kelly?
good challenge too.
That would be a good
That'd
challenge.
be a
I
good
don't
challenge.
Know Kelly.
Kelly.
I don't.
No, you
Kelly
probably
challenge?
don't.
Hang
You
on, he
probably
fishes. Doesn't he fish with Jason Wilson?
Yeah, he fishing with Jason. Yep.
Yeah.
Challenge David and make him go to Lake James.
No, I get to pick the lake.
Yeah, you do. That's right. That's right. That's
I
right.
get to pick the lake.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
if Kelly challenges you, don't go to Lake James.
Hey, Kelly Logan is
I
a
wouldn't,
fisherman.
because that's 3 hours from my house, and I'm not into that sort of thing.
Challenge him to go to High Rock, Kelly.
I'm
You
not.
know what, Kelly? You know what to do if you go to High Rock. You figured it out, and you know
Yeah.
what to do. Just don't
Kelly.
leave
Well,
that spot. Stay
Kelly.
on that spot.
Catch 2, apparently.
Yeah, you obviously don't know what to do.
Well, Jason found it out Sunday because he took his partner there 10 minutes to go, and his partner caught a 5'11" and a 2-pounder.
And Kelly knows now.
Kelly already knew.
Well,
Yeah.
what happened to Jason? He didn't catch anything?
Jason, no, he struggled.
He
But
did good. He did good in one of the
you can't
tournaments.
say anything about anybody struggling there because when that lake's high,
It's tough.
for one thing, there might have been 1 or 2 people could have got under that bridge, but not hardly nobody could get under the bridge. And the river was blown out,
Yeah.
and it was so high. If you went in the backwater in the rivers, the fish could get way back up in there where you can't get to them. So
That's crazy.
it was just a real bad
That's
time.
crazy. That's
Kelly
crazy.
said you can have the belly. You ain't going to High Rock. Jason did good up there one day, though, didn't
Come
he?
on, Kelly. Don't be
17 pounds one
afraid.
day?
Come on, Kelly.
No, that wasn't no. Mm-mm.
Kelly Logan will be a great challenge. I'm just telling y'all, he'd be a great challenge.
Well, I mean,
He would.
he did tell me he bet $100 it wouldn't be one on a buzzbait, and he was right. I couldn't even get one to sniff at it
Okay,
up there.
well, he knows. He knows. He's a good fisherman.
Kelly
I'll tell you.
knows.
Kelly knows.
Yeah, so all of our late joiners to our show, the challenge line is open.
I
Man,
think
you got
they're
no
all scared
challenge.
of David.
I
Might
think
be.
they're afraid of you. There's
Guys,
nobody-
just look at the weather, make sure it's going to be a long stretch
Oh,
of no
God,
rain.
he wants to go
and you
to
can get him.
Hickory.
Oh yeah, I
No.
don't think you won't kill it. Hickory.
Kelly, it's not happening, buddy. I yielded that. No.
David
I-
said whoever's fishing, you may see you scared all challengers off.
I think he has. I
Chris
think
Dover
he-
just jumped on here. I'd like for him to
Uh-oh,
challenge you
There
too.
you go.
Yeah, you take Dover to water.
Dover's got some scores to settle with you too.
Yeah.
Does he?
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah, you probably
Why
took
you-
his
Let's don't
gun.
go into details. We're not gonna go into details.
Oh, I did.
Oh no, we're not going. Let's not go into.
light.
Let's don't go into details. But he owes you one. Tell him, challenge him, Dover. He's looking for somebody to challenge him, Dover. Jump on him.
I'm not looking. I mean, here's the deal. Anybody wants to challenge, I'll weigh my options.
I mean,
you're
it's like
looking.
everybody's afraid. Everybody's afraid. At least we wasn't afraid. We might
No.
have got beat.
No,
We
I
might
knew.
suck.
I
and
knew
got
when we
beat,
picked. I
but
knew when we picked the lake the night before. I was in trouble.
You didn't even
I
sleep.
didn't realize.
It was a
that.
bad day.
Hamrick didn't sleep, and I was cleaning up puke and fixing boat batteries. See, right? I went to Shane's house. Let me tell you something. I stayed at Shane Lineberger's house. His wife, best hospitality ever. His daughter, they talked. I mean, it was a good night. They brought barbecue in, some really good barbecue. I slept like a baby down in his basement.
Right?
Got up the next morning. Didn't even need my wake-up call. I asked for a wake-up call, and he was going to give it. I didn't even need it. I was up. So, Shane did it up right for me.
Davis,
Good,
Travis
good.
Young says he'll take you on
Uh-oh.
Wiley.
Travis, I've already said that anybody that challenges me is going to have to go to Watery, buddy. If you want to do it, come on.
Okay, there
David
you go.
struggled at Wiley this year, boys. I don't think he wants nobody at Wiley. He wants to go away from Wiley because it's been bad for him.
You
Absolutely.
listen to Mike, he catch 4-pounders on crankbaits and 4-pounders on a jig.
Who,
That
Mike?
was a year
Oh,
ago.
no,
That was
yeah,
a year
no,
ago.
no, that was years
Hey,
ago.
no, that was last year.
Really?
That was last year. That was last year.
Last year we had a pretty good run at Wiley.
Yeah.
This
Well, after we
year-
get this 4-on-4 deal done, and you get your other little challenges, and they take your belt, we're gonna talk about this North Carolina, South Carolina thing. I like this.
I'll get in on that one.
I like this
I do too.
because North Carolina's a
just
whole
can't-
better fisherman than South
You just
Carolina,
can't
sir.
fish in the middle of the week. If you fish in the middle of the week, I'm out.
The only good fishermen in South Carolina, mostly they're on the border. They're
Who
close
are
to
they?
North Carolina,
Who
so they
are
can
they?
learn.
You're right. I'm 10 minutes from Charlotte.
There you go.
You're right.
Yeah.
I am 10 minutes from Charlotte. Seawright needs to get out, boys. He'll be right back.
So
Seniors.
who are they, Hammer?
Who's what?
The good fishermen.
I mean, there's too many to name, sir.
Let's go to Lookout. Kelly, you bumped your head.
Dude, you need to get out more.
I
Yeah,
know,
he's naming some good lakes.
he needs to expand his horizons, don't he?
I want
It's already worked for you twice, man. Don't go to these lakes you know, because that's when you're gonna fish history, and your history ain't too good. Go
you
to the
need
lakes
to-
you don't know.
you
That's
need to-
when you do the
You need
best.
to join a club so you can fish more than just Lake Wiley.
Here's the problem. Here's my problem with the club tournaments. For me to get up early in the morning, drive, I want to fish for more than $20 a man. You gotta. I mean, I don't know. I'll keep that. to
Really and
myself.
truly, though, you go to a lake you don't really know, and fishing against somebody that knows the lake. If the conditions ain't right, the man that knows the lake's gonna run. He's gonna run history, and he's probably not gonna do that good.
You're
And you
right.
don't know the lake, and you do something. You fish the conditions. You're gonna usually do decent.
Sure.
And that's the big difference. That was a blessing for you going to Hickory, because that Hickory wasn't gonna pay out for him because the lake come up a foot before we went there overnight, and it was raining. He had no advantage on you going to Hickory. He could not fish deep. They're not gonna be deep when it's like that. It's just this is how it is. So you ought to look into that, sir. Expand your horizons.
Road Hiss, I can round up a couple dollars. That's farther up than Hickory is. Why don't you want to come to South Carolina?
Road hiss is fun too.
Yeah, Road Hiss has got big ones in it though.
Yeah, but you know what? Watery's good.
That's the advantage of being in a club. You fish club tournaments for.
So I can tell you
10
why
or
most
15 years,
of the
you
stuff
learn
is
all
in
these
North
lakes.
Carolina, because around here you got in South Carolina you have Watery, you can technically say Wiley, and then outside
Murray,
of that,
Monticello.
okay, well
Greenwood.
Murray's an hour and a half away. So
I
if
can be.
you're
I can be to
complaining
Murray
about
from
going,
my house an hour and 10 minutes.
okay, so extra 20 minutes ain't that big of a deal. So if you're complaining about driving, getting up early, you're going to go to Murray, then you can go to High Rock, you can go to Lookout, you can go. Road Hiss ain't that far either. Now James is kind of a haul.
James is all.
If you get anywhere past Santee, or I'm sorry, Murray, and you're headed to the west of the state, where Clark Hill and all that stuff is, you're spending the night.
You're right. You are correct. Shane made He made a very valid point. The best fishermen can adapt to the conditions,
Exactly.
no matter what they are.
That's true. That's true.
But he'll tell you also, when you go to your home lake,
You're going
you
to
got
fish your stuff.
you're gonna fish history, and a lot of times history ain't good on certain conditions.
I will be honest with you. I'm about to hang a left at Wiley and quit going down the lake and go fish up the lake. Just do something different.
Or you can just quit going to the ramp period and go somewhere else.
Historically,
You have two kids as well. You understand how difficult that can be.
Yeah, but at the same time,
Wiley is simple.
I fish way more than just Lake Wiley.
But you do. I'll give you that.
But historically, you don't win when you take a left out of Buster Boys. Historically.
There's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
Now, I will say there is one person who is still alive that will argue that fact.
Who would that be?
Probably one of the best there ever was.
Who would that be?
Ted Mobley.
Ted Mobley's my hero.
Ted has said multiple times, sitting at this very table, turned a different direction. He comes in here probably twice a week, and we talk.
Yep.
And he has said multiple times, if you want to catch a big fish on Wiley, he feels it's best to do it above the bridge.
You know what? This past early March, I caught one that weighed 8.5, and it was north. So maybe I'm not going to ever dispute anything Ted says, because Ted was my
And you've
hero.
not been in a boat with Ted yet?
I haven't.
Ted.
No, I'm talking about.
Ted off. He said he would go. The problem with Ted's up in years.
Of course.
And the day has to be right. And it can. I mean, and we have not worked it out.
I'm gonna just. I have to say, over 40 years of fishing Lake Wiley, I have memories of Mobley weighing in bags of fish, and he always used a clear bag.
So you could see him coming.
He always, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but he always used a clear bag. And
Or bags.
Yeah. There were times he would bring 2, but he would almost have to drag them to the scales. And
That's back when like a 10 fish limit though, right?
It was an 8
Eight,
and
yeah.
8 and a 10 and a 10.
That's imagine catching 8 5-pounders
No, we're not talking about 5 pounds.
bigger than that.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
And
the old Wiley, not this
I've
Wiley.
got
When this
memories.
place was a mud hole.
Yeah,
I've got
that's right.
memories
That's right.
of him coming to the scales with clear bags with fish that was just monsters. I mean, I'll never forget it. He had it figured out. He absolutely had it figured out. He was great on this lake. He was the man for many
You've
years.
known them all of them, Mike.
Well, I have known them all.
You have.
I mean,
And-
you
and
were
my-
fishing when Moby Dick was a minnow.
I was, and
Well,
Mobley was probably the best as far as catching great big fish. I mean, he could do it. He could. My hat's always been off to him. I consider him the best. That's my opinion. And I fished with all of them.
That's
I think
coming
he was
from
the
a
best.
legend.
Well, he is he's the true legend in my book. Yeah.
All right. So we did have a giveaway, right?
We did.
So you had more people pick you this time.
I did have a couple more people pick me. I do feel a little bit better.
I
about
picked you.
Hell, my boat
did.
captain picked you.
I
Thanks
missed.
a
I
lot.
missed your weight by a pound, and I hit Mike's dead
Thanks
on
a
the
lot.
number.
Thanks a lot.
I said he would catch
Thanks
6
a
pounds,
lot.
and you'd catch 12.38 or something. I missed you
Well-
by a pound, and
well-
I hit him dead on
Thanks
the
a lot,
number.
Scott. Thanks a lot.
So
I had a lot of
David,
confidence in you,
so who-
Mike.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
Zach Sweets.
Zach Sweets. I'm not sure if Zach's on here or not.
And Kelly, I threw a buzzbait to no avail. My 2 baits were a booyah popper and a catcher lures jig. Made an adjustment, and you're right, buzzbait did not win.
So what was the giveaway?
Shane
Was no
mentioned a
reaction.
Reaction Innovations prize pack and a Rusty Hooks t-shirt. So
There you go.
message us sizes and whatnot. We'll get with you to square that up.
All right. All right, guys. Well, we're about an hour and 20 minutes. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. FLW starts tomorrow. Chickamauga Super Tournament. MLF guys are in there. We got a 4 versus 4 coming up next week, so I guess we'll get some more coverage of that next Monday, right?
Yep.
And we're still looking for challengers. I think Kelly was kind of leaning.
Kelly,
he might
what
do
happened
it.
to
And
Kelly?
he
Did
might. He said he
chicken out?
might.
And
He's
the
chickened
challenge
out.
line is open.
I mean, I before we completely sign out on Hoover, I would like to hear his final word on it, because the group, the little text
You
message.
can just fish against him next.
Who, what?
Well, he told me tonight that he didn't think he was going to do it, but that ain't talking to you. Now I was talking to me. Now I didn't go either way with it. I just told him that's his decision.
If
what
he
wants
wants to do it, I don't want to line somebody up in front of him and leave him feel left out.
Well, give him a call.
Well, he's an obvious choice because he's a great fisherman, as
listen,
you well know.
I shouldn't have to call the challenge. The challenge
no,
should have
that's
to
true.
call me.
Well, I
true.
don't.
That's
I mean,
true.
y'all kind of put that on him. He didn't challenge you.
And
Yeah,
I told,
that-
in our
That's true, too.
conversation,
That's true, too.
I told him, I said, dude, if you don't want to do it, I'm okay with that too. And he said, no, I'm good.
Well, he's not scared. I can tell you. You said he might be scared of going to what? No, he's not scared. I
Well,
can promise
and
you
the other
that.
the other thing that's important to remember is it's a 1v1. So it would be you and Hoover, and that ain't got nothing to do with Scott. Nothing whatsoever to do with Scott. I know there'll be
Oh,
people.
I'll get it if he beats him.
Well,
Yeah, I'll
whoever
get
goes,
it.
You got it. You're in the boat with him, right?
Either me or Seawright.
Either one.
Okay. Well, if you do it in the middle of the league, I'm out. Period.
But I'm just saying.
Now
it would be
Shane
Hoover.
did start talking some craziness and say something about swapping up. He's
Hoover's not
go
going to do
challenge.
that. I can already tell you Hoover's not
Now-
going to do that.
Again, I'm okay with Shane. Shane and I have built a good relationship. I can say about whatever I want to Shane. Shane can say about whatever he wants to me.
And he does.
And we don't have a problem.
And he does.
He gives it to
He
me.
criticizes you.
But you know what?
It's really entertaining.
I
It
will
is.
I will take the criticism because
That's good.
It makes me
You're thick
it makes
skinned.
me better.
You thick skinned.
It really does. I mean, I get to go fish in the boat with a professional fisherman for an
Right.
entire day.
Right.
Even though he's talking trash to you all day,
Yeah,
but he's
all
in the
day
boat
long.
with you.
I know.
It doesn't. It does not.
It does. It really,
To me, it does not.
guys.
matter.
It's all about fun, and
It
we
is.
try to make it
is.
fun.
It is.
And really and truly, these challenges, I'm gonna get beat. Whoever challenges me next may beat me.
Absolutely.
But it's for me, it's fun.
It's fun.
I go fishing, and the chips fall where they fall.
Hey, we're all great friends. We're all decent fishermen. We all win. We all lose, and that's it.
So
It's
I'm
all
not-
bragging rights.
That's right.
It's all
Nobody,
about-
you're gonna lose a whole lot more than you're gonna win. There's no
Yeah,
doubt about
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
No doubt about
Absolutely.
Unless you're David. he's
that. And
still
I don't
out.
care who you are, you're gonna get humbled
No,
on the
Brandon,
on
let
the
me just tell
pond.
you something.
Absolutely.
Probably part of the reason why I can't win an actual tournament is because I'm winning these one-on-one challenges, and that's fine. You know, we'll take that for now.
So I lost on my comments, but I saw a couple people on here that were kind of hinting around about challenging you on different lakes. So I can't remember everybody's name.
Travis Young said something.
Travis
He
and
said,
Kelly.
"What's the date for Watery?" There's not a. You have to make a formal challenge.
Brian New said he'd go if you put some money in the pot.
No, he said he was out.
But
No, he
came
said he was
back-
in if he put money in the pot.
Oh.
Then he came back and said if he got some money in the pot,
Okay.
he might be interested.
I will say this: everybody's listening on air. You can find it on our different sources. Anybody that wants to bring a legitimate challenge to the table, it will be entertained. I'm okay with anything you want to throw out there. If I don't like the idea, we may. I will choose the lake. How about that?
Well,
You
that's
already
fair.
chose a
That's
lake.
only fair. That's only fair.
Yeah, I did say Watery, but I mean, again,
Kelly just said you can't fish.
Yeah.
you're right. I can't, but I sure did beat these two goobers.
And I've still hadn't got over it. Have you, Mike?
Well, not really. No.
Matter of fact, you put Mike
We're-
to drinking.
Well, we're in the losers bracket. I mean, I don't know.
We'll make
I don't-
up for
I
it,
don't know
bud.
about you, but
We'll
I
make
don't like
up
being
for
a
it.
loser.
We'll make up for
I
it.
don't like
then-
being a loser.
And you
I
got
don't.
when October gets here, you're gonna have to fish against Jody, and he's pretty much said anyway.
And you know what? That will be a separate challenge. I'll do that for Jody. Jody, if you're still on here, it's a go. We'll do October on Wiley.
Hey, he'd be a great challenger.
I
too,
think
I'm
by
telling
October
you.
you won't have the belt, sir.
No, you won't. No.
That belt will be
Nobody's
history.
gonna. Nobody's
That
gonna
belt
have
will
it
be
very
history.
long.
But here's the problem. I've got the belt through two of you.
That's
Now,
only two.
does somebody have to beat me twice to win the belt?
No, that's only two.
No, no.
That's only
You're
two.
right. It's only two, but I will say this: it's two very good fishermen.
Well, here's the thing. If somebody loses like me and Goober here,
Hoover.
Goober. If
Goober.
somebody loses like us, we shouldn't get the opportunity to even try again, is the way I look at it. Do you agree with that?
I ain't gonna agree with that.
I do. We shouldn't even get that opportunity
No,
again.
no, I ain't
It
gonna
should
agree
be
with that.
open to new people.
Is
That's my opinion.
Is Dover still on here? Because he wrote, "I'll take it." I don't know what
Dover
that
said
means.
he'd take you, and he owes you something,
But-
sir.
Now wait a
Uh-oh.
minute. Now I don't know if that's a comment.
No,
saying,
no. He's wanting a piece of big boy over here.
Hey,
I don't
good. It won't be at Mountain Island, buddy. I know your track record up there.
I don't
And,
think he's
yes,
talking about
you
Mountain
still are
Island.
Moon Cricket.
What, does he live at Mountain Island?
Who?
No, it's Joshua Good.
Dover.
And
Oh.
then Jason Land said, "I can go. I don't care what you say to me. Let's do it." Shane's a rookie. I don't know what that means. So Dover's giving thumbs up.
There you go. There's your formal challenge right there.
Lake Watery it is.
Who is it?
Dover, Chris
Chris
Dover.
Dover.
But okay.
Why does Logan keep calling me a shit talker?
Because Pretty
Have
much
you
that's
seen
what
this?
you are,
Have
sir.
you seen this?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have to get Dover in here.
But you see that?
I know because you talk trash constantly.
I'm shocked. Kevin
There's your-
Logan, I thought we were buddies.
There's
Look
your
at
challenge,
this.
David.
Look at this.
Come
Dover
on,
on Watery.
are you going to accept?
Uh-oh,
You going to accept?
Joshua Good.
You going to accept Dover's challenge?
What? Here's
Now-
Joshua Good.
Now they're crawling out of the woodwork.
They are now.
Well, Dover's the. I
Dover,
mean, you can talk
that
to
ain't
him.
happening, homie.
Dover owes you.
He may owe me.
I think you need to give Dover a shot.
I reserve the right to choose the lake. He's saying Broad River.
Oh
Dover?
no, he'll beat your brains into broad.
You-
No,
You'll tear your boat up.
yeah, you'll
I'll tear my boat
Yeah,
up.
you'll tear your boat up.
You don't want to do that.
Robin
No,
let me
that-
borrow his jet boat. I won't worry about it then.
Yeah.
Dover won't even crank the big motor on.
I just think no, he'll take you at Watery. Dover will get you at Watery.
He might. He,
He
very
will.
well may.
He will. He owes you too.
All right, so we got a lot to figure out before now next
We
Monday.
do.
All right,
cut this
sounds
one
And
off
good.
what
an hour
about
and a half.
Hoover? What's Hoover gonna do? I mean, come on.
What
What's
is-
he
what
not
It's
is-
up
here?
to Hoover.
I mean, Hoover's not here.
I already pushed Hamrick into it.
Hoover's not on live.
Hoover told me he wasn't going to do it today. Now,
Hoover
that's
might-
all I can go on.
Yeah,
he might
but-
change his mind.
Well, Hoover,
Hoover
needs
might be
to,
at the station. tonight.
Hoover needs to decide.
He's working tonight, I'm sure.
Dover, we might have something here, buddy, but it will not be at the Broad River.
Yes. Skating, man. All these guys was well. You were Triton, man.
What?
Everybody's in these challenges is nothing but skaters.
Hey, it pays to run a skeeter.
It
It didn't pay. It ain't been paying here lately, Paw Paw.
It paid 2 weeks ago.
When was this?
It paid 2 weeks ago.
When was this?
Top 60.
Oh, that's nobody fished it. You only had 8 boats.
Hey, $1,000.
And I did not show up.
I don't care who shows up.
Did you?
It ain't
Oh,
my
that's right.
problem.
You did win a top
I
60.
did win it, and it don't matter.
I think Steve Addington won that.
Steve Adams,
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
here we
he
go.
helped win it.
Oh, boy.
That's for sure.
All right, guys, I forgot to stock up on waders this week. Cut the live feed till these two get it too deep in here.
All right, so Dover's on the hook.
Looks like Dover and I might have to do some chit-chatting.
There ain't gonna be no might about it. He's on the hook. He called you out.
Well,
You
me
just
and
gonna
Dover's
accept or
good
not.
buddies, and I think we can talk this thing out.
Let me tell you something. You will have Dover frazzled.
No.
I don't know about that.
He will.
He had Seawright frazzled.
No, Seawright was done when you got the 4 fish and he only had 1. He was done
No,
because he knew the conditions wasn't his favor.
no, and no. I knew that going into the lake, but whatever.
Okay, we're gonna get this set up. We'll know by next Monday who it's gonna be, and we're gonna talk
Ooh.
about it.
Wow. Jason Land, buddy. I'd be careful firing shots. He said Logan is the man. Be tougher than new any day of the week.
Wow.
That's his opinion. I'm not
Dover
gonna
wants
comment.
to get you on
Well,
Wiley.
Logan's scared.
All right, we should have
Logan's
started
scared.
this like 10 minutes
phone
into
just
the whole
died, so-
thing.
Logan's scared.
All right, we're gonna sign off tonight.
Yeah.
Tune in next Monday, and we will have us a challenger, and David might change the lake.
Yep,
Josh,
that's up to
you
him.
you get your chance, buddy.
Lineberg will be back next Monday.
Lineberg will be back next
We can
Monday.
talk about all the fish he caught at the beach.
and we'll talk about Chickamauga. 'Cause
Yep.
that'll be over.
Yep.
We'll know what
You
the
can
deal
talk
is
about
there.
that.
And we'll also kind of give a kind of a preview of what we're going to do Wednesday at Watery.
Sounds
I
like
know
a winner.
what we're gonna do. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it.
I am.
You
I'll
say what you want to.
I'll say it.
What we're gonna do? See, right?
We're gonna-
Here we go, y'all.
Hey.
This is getting deep.
Hey, Lineberger sent a video one time with the little duck. What did the duck say? I'm gonna kick somebody's ass. You remember that?
I'm pretty sure.
I remember
somebody else
that.
posted that.
I'm not going there. I'm just listening.
Remember that?
I remember.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I
That's
think
all I'll
I
say.
think I reposted it before I fished against him.
Yeah, I think you did.
I might have.
I'm just saying. We'll see.
Let
What
me
we
tell you
missed?
something.
What's
all the
Josh-
luck
what's-
to them.
What's Josh?
See, right? I'm gonna be in the boat with you, man. You're writing a check that we might not be able to cash.
We'll cash it. Don't worry about it. Me and you coming out of the losers bracket. It's time.
I'm gonna let you two talk your own.
I'm not talking. I'm listening. I'm listening.
I noticed this. for
You don't
once.
have confidence? What?
Huh?
You
Do
don't
what?
have any confidence? Maybe you ought to quit fishing and do something else.
Maybe I ought to.
Like
It ain't been
bad-
working out too good here the last 2 weeks
Can you
for
do
me.
badminton?
Huh?
Or
He can't play cornhole.
You play cornhole or badminton or something? I mean, if you can't, you don't have no confidence, don't fish. I'm
I
just
got
saying.
confidence,
Okay.
sir. I just don't want to rile the troops.
Did we miss Joshua Good? Did Joshua Good call you out? I
He-
lost all
Yeah,
my
he did.
comments.
He did.
He kind of said he wanted to go to Mountain Island, but that ain't happening.
No.
Oh,
No.
Okay, I think it's going to be Dover or Hoover. So let's get it
It's-
figured out, and then we're going to move on to the next man after that.
We got to look at the time frame of who challenged first.
I
Yep.
lost all my comments. I can't.
Then
I got
again,
5 of them on
Yep.
here.
I've still
Okay.
got them here, but then again, you know what? We might make it interesting. The 1 versus 1 versus 1.
What's that
Me
mean?
against Dover and Good. Who knows?
Damn, you gonna take on 2?
You decide, sir. It's your belt.
Yeah, hey, you're the
You're
champion.
gonna have to have enough boat captains.
I'm
You do it in the
ready.
middle of the
I'm
week, I
ready to
can't
pass
do
the
it.
belt on. You know what? Like
You're the champion.
Chris Williams or somebody like that. I'd like to pass the belt on to somebody.
Oh
different.
man, he's already setting it up. Well, if I lose, I wanted to give it to you.
Oh, I know. I know how this works. I know
Hey,
how
you know
this
what
works.
I think? You know what I really think? I think he should be able to keep the belt, and there be another belt. That's what I think.
It's
I
got to
don't
be
know. I don't
signed
need
every
to keep
time.
the belt.
I think you do.
I don't need to keep the belt, Mike.
Okay. All right.
What I hope is the best fishermen in this area have their name on the back of that belt at some point in time or another.
Well,
Just to prove to the next guy that anybody can be beat on
Absolutely.
any
Hey,
given
That's
that's
very
a
true.
fact.
That's
there.
very true.
That's a fact there.
before
Kelly's
it's over
taking
with-
odds on 2 and done.
2 and done.
Who, Kelly?
God almighty.
Kelly, what's Kelly even having why does he have an opinion? He's afraid. He was afraid. We
Here's-
called him out. He's
he-
afraid.
He wants to go to one of his lakes up
Oh my
there.
God.
Josh, right now it's set on watery.
Yep.
I mean, I did publicly say watery.
Well,
so-
that's your comfort
Yeah, but you
zone,
keep
sir.
going
It's your,
back
it's your
first.
choice.
It's not though. I finished second in one tournament watery. I've never won a tournament watery.
Well, then
you
why
never
are you
won
so
one on
confident
Norman
in
or-
watery?
or-
Why'd you drag us
why
down
do
there
you
for this
want
4 on
watery?
4?
I just want to do something different. Watery, the 4-on-4. I feel like the group of guys that are on my team, I feel like we could win.
Kelly said he's not scared. Just got to meet him in the middle. He's way out there by Lake James.
Yeah, he is a long ways
Watery's
away.
a long way.
Well, that ain't our fault. I mean, he's afraid to come south.
Kelly, you want to come fish at Watery? You can sleep at my house.
There you go.
Got an extra bedroom. You can park your boat right
I mean, he
beside
can stay in
mine.
my house too. I got a king bedroom, downstairs bathroom, the whole 9.
Hey, he can stay at my house, but I'm gonna talk shit to him all night.
Well, he knows that.
Oh boy!
All right.
This is
For
getting
the
deep.
third
boys.
time, we're going in this
Yeah,
one.
we're
Okay.
done.
All right.
It's just
We're
hard to get off
forking
with,
it.
Well, I know
with
it
mouth
is.
of the south over
Okay,
here.
we're done.
Both
done.
of you.
Yeah.
I don't
you
talk-
I
too.
mean, both of you.
I don't talk
swear.
trash. I
You're
talk the
awesome.
truth, baby.
All right, Rusty Hooks Live, where our hooks may be rusty, but our points are always sharp.
Hell yeah.
Find us on YouTube and your favorite podcast player. We will see you guys next week.